Let me start today with a simple but powerful hook. Imagine you wake up one morning and discover that the entire conversation around one of the most important digital assets in the world, XRP, has suddenly shifted. Everywhere you look, headlines scream about bear markets, negative narratives, and reasons to panic. But beneath all that noise, something very different is quietly unfolding, something that could change the entire landscape for XRP holders. And I want to put this on your radar before it's too late. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiteboard Crypto Update. In today's video, we will talk about XRP Future. So be sure to stay focused, as you surely don't want to miss out on this. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. Please remember, this is not a financial advice video. Now, here's the truth. Yes, there are people out there pushing the idea that crypto is slipping back into a bear market. But if you're holding XRP right now, I want to make this very clear. This is not the moment to panic. Instead, it's the moment to understand what's actually happening on the macro side, the technical side, and most importantly, for us as XRP holders. And today, we've got breaking news that I believe deserves your full attention. A major Japanese gaming company has just confirmed a purchase of XRP worth 2.5 billion yen. Now, when you convert that into US dollars, it comes out to about $17 million. At first glance, some people might shrug and say, well, $17 million isn't exactly a huge number, but that misses the bigger picture. Here's why this matters. In the world of digital assets, purchases like this create a market cap multiplier effect. In other words, a $17 million injection into XRP can drive billions of dollars in overall market cap growth. And more importantly, it sends a very loud and clear signal. We are entering an era where public companies are not only using XRP, but also holding it on their balance sheets as a treasury reserve. This wasn't happening in past cycles. We didn't see this kind of adoption last year either. But now it's happening. Just recently, I covered how more than 60 companies are exploring ways to use XRP as part of their treasury strategy. And when you have businesses buying and holding XRP, it doesn't just create demand, it removes supply from the open market. That means less available XRP floating around, which can contribute to a more stable and potentially higher price. So yes, today's purchase out of Japan might look like just $17 million, but in reality, it's a milestone. It's another piece of evidence that XRP is being integrated into corporate strategies and adopted globally. Now let's zoom out for a moment, because this isn't just about one Japanese company. On the macroeconomic side, Canada just reported that their economy contracted by 1.6% annualized in Q2. That's their sharpest decline since the pandemic. And when economies weaken like this, one of the biggest consequences is that central banks, in this case the US Federal Reserve as well, start moving toward interest rate cuts. Why does that matter? Because when interest rates drop, trillions of dollars of liquidity flood back into financial markets. That's stocks, bonds, real estate, and yes, crypto, which means the stage is being set for a massive wave of inflows. So if you've been hearing the talk about a multi-year bear market, you need to see through that fear. Because the data suggests otherwise. Interest rate cuts, global companies adopting XRP, and new opportunities for yield on your holdings, this is not the setup for collapse. This is the setup for acceleration. Speaking of yield, let's touch on one of the more exciting developments coming out of the XRP ecosystem. Many of you already know about Flare Network. The founder recently spoke in an interview about how Flare is introducing products like FXRP, which allows you to stake your XRP in vaults and earn rewards. Now, let me be clear. Every reward system comes with some degree of risk. That's just the reality of finance. Even holding crypto itself is inherently risky because of volatility. But here's why this is different. Flare has been around for a while, and they're establishing a reputation as a solid player in the space. And beyond that, we're also seeing companies like iTrust Capital offering secure institutional-grade custody for XRP, even giving investors the ability to hold XRP in IRAs to avoid capital gains taxes. This is the kind of infrastructure that signals maturity, not collapse. So what does all this mean for the road ahead? Let's connect the dots. Global economies are weakening. This creates conditions for interest rate cuts. Rate cuts flood markets with liquidity. Crypto stands to benefit massively. Public companies are buying and holding XRP. Supply is being reduced, adoption is increasing. Yield opportunities and ETF approvals are lining up. Institutional investors are about to pour in. That brings me to one of the biggest catalysts yet, crypto ETFs. We are now watching as regulators review ETF applications for 92 digital assets. Yes, 92. That's not just Bitcoin or Ethereum. That includes altcoins, and XRP is firmly in the spotlight. We already saw news break about XRP-related ETF approvals being discussed, and while nothing is final yet, the direction is undeniable. For the first time ever, we're looking at the possibility of dozens of digital assets gaining ETF approval. And once that happens, institutional investors who previously couldn't touch these assets will suddenly have a compliant, regulated way to get exposure. Think about what that means. Pension funds, hedge funds, insurance companies, the big money players, all gaining direct access to XRP through ETFs. That's not just bullish, that's transformational. So let's circle back to the fear narrative for a moment. The idea of a prolonged bear market makes sense if you're holding meme coins or projects with no utility. If your portfolio is full of tokens with no real-world use case, yes, you should probably be worried. But XRP is different. XRP has utility, adoption, regulatory clarity emerging, and integration into corporate balance sheets. This isn't the time to panic. This is the time to recognize the opportunity. Prices right now are discounted. And history tells us that the biggest gains come to those who see through the fear and position themselves before the floodgates open. As always, some days will be red, some days will be green. That's the nature of markets. But if you truly understand what you hold in XRP, then you know what's waiting on the other side of all this uncertainty. The future is not something to fear, it's something to prepare for. So my final message today is this. Don't let the noise shake you out. Don't let the bear market headlines blind you to the reality. Adoption is growing, institutional inflows are coming, ETF approvals are on the horizon, and in my view, the end game for XRP holders is nothing short of extraordinary. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on XRP? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you.